Sorry this video took so long, but people constantly, kept clamoring, Shokio, where's this video talking about the Wii U update, whatever. So here it is. And right out the gate, I'm going to tell you guys that I was really, really, really disappointed in this update. Now, for the people saying, what were you expecting? Oh, you're expecting too much. Your expectations were really high. Really, my expectations were very, very rock bottom because this year Nintendo has had a habit of disappointing me. And the last time Nintendo just made me absolutely ecstatic, outside of E3, of course, because, that's pretty much automatic, was the actual January, was it 23rd Direct that they had at the beginning of this year. Other than that, it's been disappointment after disappointment after disappointment. They just kept dropping the ball, in my opinion. They keep on missing on, what would have been great opportunities, such as picking up Atlas and things of that nature. So my expectations have been very low for this update. But at the same time, Nintendo did tout this as the second major update. They said that the spring update was just going to speed things up and things of that nature. Then they said that the second update was going to add features. So I was expecting some very simple things to be implemented, but they weren't. Now, for those of you who may not know by now, I have the list of what the update included right here. The first, pretty much the biggest thing about the update was the fact that you can now have Wii off TV play for your gamepad, but it's not what you think it is, and I'll get back to that later. Spot pass features, they enable USB keyboard support. I didn't even know that wasn't there to begin with. You can use your Nintendo Network ID on non-Nintendo hardware. Okay, that's cool. Surround sound for Wii games. There's a friends list icon on the actual home menu now. So pretty much right here. If that friend icon wasn't there before. I'm just trying to pick out the juicy things here. Let's see. You can now chat using the gamepad for, Wii U chat. Before this, you could only actually chat with the mic that was in the gamepad. They made some improvements to the browser and, of course, system stability and usability. Also, they fixed the Netflix freezing problem and the browser freezing problem, which is great. Now, I ran into the Netflix problem a couple times. That's when you boot up Netflix and it would just stay on a black screen. And your system would pretty much freeze and you wouldn't be able to, you'd have to pretty much unplug your system and plug it back in for it to work. I never actually ran into the browser problem because, I don't know, I guess I'm just lucky. But also another thing that I did not say is that you could also actually post pictures through your internet browser to any site you want to. So when you're playing a game, what you do is you could press the home button, open up your internet browser, and whatever screen that you pause the game on by pressing the home button, you could go to whatever site through your browser and you could post a picture of whatever you pause the game on. So that's pretty cool. That is a pretty dope feature. But to this Wii off TV play, and you guys already know what my gripe is, you could not use the gamepad to actually play the games. The gamepad is simply there to display them. So I don't understand the point. Like, the thing is, you still got to use the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, right? And I can understand, having to use the Wii Remote and Nunchuck for games that only use the Wii Remote and Nunchuck. But for any game that uses the classic controller, right, or the Wii U, the Classic Controller Pro or whatever, it should support the gamepad. And even then, with the games that do support the Wii Remote and Nunchuck, if I'm have a game that requires motion controls, so I'm swinging my arms or whatever, why would I want to play a motion control game on a 6-inch screen? That just really doesn't make much sense. Now, the defense to this whole thing was, oh, well, you couldn't play your GameCube games with the Wii Remote, could you? Okay, people, first off, those are two completely different control methods, and the Wii Remote and Nunchuck doesn't even have as many easily accessible and usable buttons as the GameCube controller did. Okay, first off. Secondly, the Wii Remote didn't have a freaking screen on it that displayed the GameCube games. You see what I'm saying? Nintendo is putting the Wii image on our controller, but we cannot actually use the buttons on that controller. We are looking at a game on a controller that we cannot actually use the controller with. Pretty much imagine, right, you're sticking in a DS game into your 3DS, right, and it displays on your 3DS, but you can't actually use the 3DS's buttons to play that DS game. That's what it would be like. That's what it's the equivalent to. You see what I'm saying? Nintendo. All you had to do was pretty much redirect what the system detects for when it's detecting for a for a Pro controller. Basically, you see what I'm saying? All you have to do was when the system gets put into Wii mode, it detects the gamepad, the actual buttons on the gamepad, as a classic controller through the Bluetooth connection. I don't see why that couldn't be done. And you people talking about, oh, it's probably more complicated than we think. Guys, this is a multi-billion-dollar corporation with some of the most creative minds in the industry. And you mean to tell me that Nintendo, a creative developer with billions and billions of dollars, can't find a way to enable the actual gamepad functionality so we can actually play these Wii games with our Wii U gamepad? Not only that, but when I pop in a PS2 game to my PS2 backwards compatible PS3, I can use the DualShock 3 to play those PS2 games. Now I know what you guys are going to say. Oh, well, they're the same controller. Physically, yes. But that's pretty much it. Inside, they're two completely different kinds of technology, right? Because the PS2 controller was a wired one. Of course, it ran through a wired connection, while the DualShock 3 is a Bluetooth controller with infrared and 6-axis in it, right? Two completely different actual connection inputs. And yet Sony still allowed us to use the DualShock 3 for the PS2 games. Now, on the Wii U gamepad, on the other hand, that's using Bluetooth, which is the same technology that the Wii remote uses. So actually, it would be harder for Sony to do it than Nintendo. But yet, Nintendo's not doing it. I don't understand that. So with this whole Wii off TV play situation, and the fact that outside of that, I mean, that's not. It would be juicy if you could use the gamepad to actually play these games. But you still have to pretty much sit your gamepad on a stand and sit up playing it, aka you might as well play on your TV, right? Other than that, there's really just nothing juicy here at all. The screenshot feature was dope, and I'm glad they fixed the freezing. But that freezing stuff could have been fixed in any old normal, kind of update. You see what I'm saying? All this other stuff was just, small fire things we really didn't ask for. Now, another thing is, in the new Nintendo Network terms and service, it does imply that you are actually able to retrieve another Nintendo Network ID on your system. So they have that in place, but actually tried out the feature and it's not actually enabled yet. So that still hasn't been added in. But for all the people, let's get on to what I wanted to see. Let me tell you guys what I wanted to see, because a lot of people were like, well, what were you expecting? You must have been expecting all this big ass shit. No. I was expecting simple, obvious problems I thought Nintendo would solve that they didn't. Okay, first off, why is the messaging system still in the Miiverse and not the friends list? Let me pull it up for you guys, right? Let me show you guys, for those of you who don't own Wii U's or you're not familiar with how the Wii U operates, whatever. Let me show you guys. Where's my Pro controller? There it is. Let me show you guys how clunky messaging your friend is, right? So I'm on the home menu. Let me go to my friends list and see who's online, right? Let's go to the friends list. Okay, here we are. Oh, okay, Dr. Trey with his bald-headed ass, he's online. Let me message Trey. Oh, wait, what? What? Oh, no messaging system. Okay, well, I guess I'll have to go to Miiverse to message Trey. So let's boot the Miiverse. Let's leave the friends list and go to Miiverse. Do y'all see this? Gotta wait for the loading screen. This little loading screen right here. Do y'all see this? You see how long it is taking me to try to message a friend? And you guys mean to tell me this is a big thing? Oh, you're expecting too much. You're expecting big things. This is something simple. Now, how do I send this nigga a message? Let me, messages. Click. Oh, it's because I'm using the Pro controller. Something wrong with my Pro? It's not scrolling down. What is going on right now? Okay, anyways, there we go. I don't know what was up with that. I think my Pro controller like unsynced or whatever. But yeah, that's how you message a friend, right? You gotta go into the Miiverse to message them, click on their name, and then send them a message. You can't just do it straight from the friends list. Another thing I was expecting was some kind of improvement to the voice chat. Let me show you guys the Wii U chat for those of you who may not be familiar with the Wii U. Not only is there no cross-game chat added, which, I mean, isn't a big deal to me because I'm on Skype even when I'm gaming on my 360, right? But I understand the needs of others. I'm not one of those gamers where I'm like, oh, well, if it's not a big problem to me, that means it's not a big problem at all. No, I understand the needs of others. So, still no cross-game chat, right? But not only is there no cross-game chat, there's not even any conference chat added in. Now, conference chat is a big thing, people. That would be something too big and bulky for Nintendo to include into the update? No. Oh, and by the way, it's on the gamepad right now, so you guys can't see it. I forgot about that. But yeah, if you go to Wii U chat, you can only, can I put this on the screen? Let's see if I can put that on the screen. No, I cannot put that on the screen. Okay, never mind. But yeah, no conference chat. It's still just one-on-one chat, and that's pretty much it. Another thing I don't like is how there is no join game option. Now, the 3DS got join game during its first year, but for some reason the Wii U doesn't. For those of you who don't know, the join game feature is pretty much join session in progress. On the 3DS, the 3DS has that feature. It got that feature patched in year one. Under year, actually, the Wii U still does not have that feature. There is no join game option. I can't show that it's like not. Well, I mean, it's obviously not there, but I won't be able to join it anyways because none of these guys play multiplayer games. But if you go to your friends' names or whatever, you'll see that there's no join game option. They haven't patched that in yet. Nintendo, why did you have that year one for the 3DS, but you don't have it for the Wii U yet? That doesn't make any sense. Another simple thing I wanted was folders. You guys see all these icons? You have to just lay them out in tile form like this because there is no folder system yet. So we can't organize games as, virtual console, retail, downloadable games. That's why I have all these virtual console games just laid out like that. How hard would it be, Nintendo, to give us a freaking folder system like you gave the 3DS? So far, I've listed bringing the messaging system to the actual friends list and not the Miiverse. I've mentioned some kind of improvement to the voice chat, right? That's not just, oh, you use a headset now, whatever, right? Some kind of improvement, at least conference calls. Tell me why the Wii has Wii Speak, which was at least a four-person conference call, and the Wii U does not have a feature like that yet. Ridiculous. No join game option like the 3DS has. No folder option like the 3DS has. Absolutely ridiculous. There was nothing substantial or big added to this, what Nintendo touted as a major update, people. Now, another thing is that for you guys talking about, oh, what were you expecting? Oh, no, this update was just fine. Do you guys realize that Nintendo reserved 1 GB of RAM to the operating system? Do y'all realize that? So they dedicate 1 gig of RAM, but then they don't do anything with that 1 gig. Nintendo, why did you reserve 1 gig to the operating system if you're not doing anything with it? Now, yes, people, of course, more features will be added in the future, but it's about to be a year and we still don't really have any multitasking at all. That is a good Sonic picture, by the way. We don't have any multitasking. The only multitasking we could do is pausing the game and going to the internet browser. We got 1 GB of RAM. 1 GB of RAM. And another thing, the SD card slot is still useless on the Wii U. You can't view folders. You can't view photos. You can't view videos. You can't play music like you could on the Wii. So the SD card slot on the Wii U is still virtually useless because it has no app to give it any kind of functionality. Now, all these things I've listed, guys, you guys have to admit, you Nintendo guys, none of this is big, right? It's not things that would be hard to incorporate. These are simple, basic things, right? And when the Wii U came out and it didn't have this feature and that feature, I was one of those people like, the system just came out. Give some time, guys. But the system is going to be out for a whole year starting. What's up, bro? It's going to be out for a whole year starting next month. And these simple freaking features and simple fixes are still not here. There's no defense. Oh, just keep waiting, keep waiting. How long are you guys willing to wait and give them, just let them slide? Because I already know, especially the 3 Nintendo Musketeers. Y'all know who I'm talking about. it will be 2016. Nintendo will add in cross game chat, right? Give us the join game option. Move the messaging to the friends list and not the Miiverse. You guys, oh, see, I told you Nintendo would add it in. All you have to do was wait. But by that time, it'll be freaking 4 years after the system launches, right? I'm all about understanding that if some features take time and stuff like that, but at the same time, you gotta give us these features in a timely manner, Nintendo. Plain and simple. So that's how I feel about this measly Wii U update. I mean, it wasn't a terrible update. It added a few nice, cool things, whatever. It made it more stable and fast and whatnot. But feature-wise, lacking. And the only what would seem to be an amazing feature was the Wii off TV play that doesn't even let you use the gamepad. And I don't know if it's you guys, I don't know if it's just me, but for some reason my Wii games actually look blurry on my gamepad, which makes absolutely no sense because these are 480p games being displayed on a 6-inch 480p screen. But I asked people about that and everybody said no, mine looks clear. But if any of you guys are experiencing this blurriness, please let me know. But yeah, that's pretty much my thoughts on the update, and those are the improvements, Nintendo, that you need to make to the Wii U immediately. Not only are you delaying games, but you're delaying updates, which is ridiculous. And that's another thing. You delayed this update was supposed to be a summer update. We got this September 30th. So not only do you delay it, but you seem to have delayed it for absolutely no reason. Oh guys, let's delay it to make sure these Wii games look blurry on the gamepad. Makes absolutely no sense to me. But that's just how I feel, y'all. That is my opinion. If you guys get mad about that, hey, don't watch me. You don't eat food you don't like, right? Okay, don't watch somebody you don't like. If you are unable to accept another man's views or opinions, honestly, I don't want you to sub to me, but I know there's going to be a lot of rage on this video, so go ahead. But that's for this video. Thanks for watching, y'all. Let me know what you guys think down below. I'll see you fools later. Peace.